way and manner. He connived, get the international cooperation to invitation of Simon Ekpa by the Finnish government.
You must understand that Tinubu is a man who has understand the psychological warfare and what we call balkanization of your enemy camp. Tinubu did exactly the same thing in Ogun State when he balkanized the votes of Amosun, right, and Benga Daniel to ensure that his own stooge, which is that Babiodu, becomes the Ogun State government of today. He also did the same thing in Oyo State during the days of Oshoba. He did the same thing even in Ekiti State. Now, Tinubu is a man who has understood that for you to infiltrate the enemy camp, buy into the one side who are disgruntled, monetize them, and of course, find a way to turn their backs against themselves. Let me tell you today that IPOP, or should I say Biafra, might disintegrate because Bianca Ojukwu is on the side of Tinubu. You must understand that she is not there just for national interest. She has bought into the deal to ensure that she brings to a standstill, and she must have promised the president of Tinubu that she is determined to bury this ideology that, of course, her husband started. You would see that just shortly, Bianca Ojukwu became the Minister of State of Foreign Affairs. The Finland Foreign Affairs were in Nigeria. There were some communications that he had. And shortly, we saw an allegation that Simon Ekpa had been arrested for financial terrorism. You should know that there can never be a fire without smoke, or there can never be a smoke without fire. There is something fishy, and Tinubu has been able to infiltrate the Biafran camp. He has bought in a mole. For if there will ever be anybody that wants to rise again, right? How sure are you that this person will be immune to the tentacles of Tinubu's hegemony? Because look at what is happening in Port Harcourt. Let me just use that as a little digression. Tinubu dipped his hands into the pocket of PDP. He brought who? Wike. Using Wike to destabilize PDP nationwide. Now, River State, which is under Fubara, right? And you know that River State happens to be the what? The cash cow for PDP, and not even collecting federal allocation as we speak. So let us go back to the Biafran stroke. I understand that Dr. Ngozi is the acting prime minister. But she must be very careful because Tinubu is a very sneaky snake, right? He's a very sneaky snake that knows how to use the disgruntledness. When you think that if the chief of staff has anybody who is unhappy with her, Tinubu will approach that person. You come to my side, take this money. You know what? Follow with them. Don't worry. I will be with you. Over time, that person will what? Will betray. Someone else has been betrayed. And you can see Tinubu is now ready to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gets released, you should know that Simon Ekpa's relevance will die a natural death. He wants to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a bait to win the Igbo. Don't forget that we have been discussing this matter for over 4 months now. That Tinubu should have released Nnamdi Kanu. But there's only one thing he is waiting for: to catch Simon Ekpa, use Simon Ekpa as a scapegoat, and of course, when the time is right, he will let Mazi Nnamdi go, provided that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will guarantee him that they will vote for him. And that is the bargain. That is the tactics he has always been using. He has not ever failed. Look at what he did with Ambode. Look at what he did with Buhari. You think Buhari wanted Tinubu to enter? Buhari openly doesn't want Tinubu there. But because of some deals, they have made a bargain. They've brokered deals. And because Tinubu knows the secret of how he also has looted, Buhari had no choice but to lay low. And of course, instruct the INEC chairman to do the needful by changing results and making sure that the election were in favor. Because everybody saw it. That election was rigged. It was rigged. And the president endorsed that rigging because he knew that Tinubu has bought into his scam. Tinubu had the people. Tinubu had El-Rufai. Don't forget that El-Rufai was one of the key players of Buhari during his time. But you know what Tinubu did? He had El-Rufai on his side because El-Rufai got handsomely paid, whether in kind or in cash. And El-Rufai was used but later dumped. And this is who Tinubu is. So for Biafra struggle to what? To not die that natural death, whoever that is there must ensure that money is not his interest. Money is not his goal. Because those people who are now incarcerated, one in Finland, one in Nigeria, never went for money first. Many a times, Nnamdi Kanu had been bribed with oil well, oil rigs. They've given him several mansions. He denied it openly, embarrassed the politicians. Get out! I don't need it. What I need is the freedom of my people. And there are only three places for a freedom fighter, which is, of course, either you are in grave, in jail, or you are in exile. And the two truthful freedom fighters Biafrans have today are Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is, of course, incarceration. The other one is in where? In exile. So if you are calling yourself a freedom fighter and you want to take over from maybe Simon Ekpa, whether just for a period of temporary, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, pending the time Simon Ekpa's case is resolved. But what you have on your mind is money. I can categorically tell you that Tinubu will defeat you once again. Just as we have seen that Bianca Ochukwu, what she fell for was money. Because ordinarily she shouldn't have taken her appointment. But we all know that when a witch cries today and the child dies the next day, everybody and all fingers will be pointing to the witch.
Nigeria have no extradition treaty. What is the process of the judicial system going to look like at this point in time?
As we speak now, the Biafrans have been able to send waybills of evidence on how the Zoo Republic have been killing Igbos in the southeast. And as we speak today, the Finland Police Department have said, enough, we've had enough. Please don't shut down our server. We have had more than enough. We will not send Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria. Because it is evident that these people are against human rights. Just yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, over 3 persons, innocent farmers, peasant farmers who were just trying to harvest their cocoyam and water yam, were slaughtered, butchered by marauding Fulanis, who of course we have seen enjoy the support and the sympathy of the federal government. So at this time, the Finland are watching from far. They've seen so many evidences. They are also suffering. They have the intelligence, and they are reading the breaking news. It is everywhere. Sahara Reporter never fails to show that they publish this. They are always the first person to publish anything. Because Nnamdi Kanu even said that Sahara Reporter is a platform that gave us a very truthful what? Narrative and representative. And this is why Nnamdi Kanu endorsed. He endorsed Sowore. He said he admires it. He said this guy is a truth sayer. I understand that we are probably almost on the same course, but the only thing is, I don't believe in fighting with the sharks. So the Finland people can smell. They can see from far that no, if this guy steps in, no, he might not last 24 hours. Because we know that there may be some people of interest in Nigeria today whose secrets are on the palms of Simon Ekpa. And if he stays in Nigeria, he won't be able to expose them. But while he's in Finland, if he speaks about these people, we can at least assure ourselves that his life is in safe hands. So for me, the extradition, whereby the Nigerian Defense Headquarters has been gloating that yes, the NSA has been saying that we'll do everything possible to bring him back. No. Finland is a nation that follows due process. Finland is a nation that believes that every human has right to his own justice, and nobody's right should be trampled upon. As we speak now, Simon Ekpa is being defended by high-quality lawyers, well-known lawyers. And lastly, Simon Ekpa is a very close ally to Alex Torp, which happens to be the Prime Minister of Finland. It is expected of him. It simply shows that Finland will not overlook anybody. Otherwise, they would have just left him alone. It would have just been a discussion over the phone. But they said, come, you go and do your investigation. You just see someone having maybe toast bread and tea. Not as if they are beating him, not as if they are torturing him. He's just having his nice time watching the news. And don't forget, even Simon Ekpa released a tweet on the 20th or so, either on the 20th or the 17th, whereby he said, in the next few days, the Nigerian government will carry a propaganda. And he said it emphatically that I am not the target. It is you who is the Biafra. They want to kill your spirit. Because I, whether I'm alive or not, Biafra ideology will certainly be restored.
Yes, on a final note, the ticket has been bought. The venue for the event has been shut down. A lot of white men, I can attest to that, are flying into Finland. The different from different countries, all in the name of Biafran solidarity and restoration event that is taking place in Finland. At the international level, why would a Southerner, a Yoruba man, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, be targeting Igbo interests globally?
You should understand that President Tinubu does not represent the Yorubas. However, President Tinubu is a representation of the global powers. Tinubu was just recently exposed by an activist, a Kenyan activist, who said that the Nigerian president is a stooge used by the British to ensure that those who are fighting for emancipation away from neocolonialism are not left free. You can see how Tinubu wanted to invade Niger. You can see how Tinubu wants to ensure that he brings back Burkina Faso. We can see how Nana Akufo, the current president of Ghana, who speaks French fluently, has been what? Junketing Burkina and what's it called, Mali, trying to bring them back. They said no. So what you should understand is the fight for Biafra is not just the fight against the Nigerian government. It is a fight for the emancipation of the black race. It is a fight against the black oppression. It is a fight for the freedom and, of course, the economic prosperity of the black people. We have always said that there will be a nation that will rise. In the past, we have always said Nigeria is holding Africa behind. No! It is that nation that has always been said the rising sun until they are emancipated. And it cannot be achieved without loss of lives. Yeah. Some people losing their freedom. Showore said this morning that where there is no struggle, there can never be a freedom. When you don't struggle, you cannot have freedom. And until you understand the very purpose of your struggle, can you ensure that you lay your all into that struggle. Only one region understand what it means to fight for freedom in Nigeria today. And of course, that is the Biafrans. The Yorubas tried it, they failed, they just gave up. They know that if we go, this is how easy it is to self-govern. There are so many hindrances, the Western powers, which is of course is British. A siege, a powerful siege of ethnicity and religious diversity. That thing is what? Is serious diversity. Right? It is a very powerful tool of suppression, whereby everybody is not in one accord. Imagine when I tell you, Oga Chinedu, Fumilonje, but you don't understand. And then you give me stone. But what I said to you means give me food. But you just thought, you not give me stone. Then we started fighting. I said, why? You want to poison me? Because we don't understand ourselves. That is the issue we have in Nigeria. Let me talk about the Nordic states. These were 3 sons. Right from the days of Valhalla, there's a very popular man, a Scandinavian, a very powerful warrior. His 3 sons. But because of their spiritual differences, they broke into the 3 Nordic states that we have: Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. There was a time they were trying to live together. But Norway, they were born to have stronger genes, were just sleeping with the Swedish and the Denmark women, and then the Denmark men had nobody. Then he got to a stage that they were like, no, 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 we cannot. It is unfair. This is more or less like a jungle whereby only the alpha beast enjoys the females. You get the point? And then they got to a point, they fought themselves for years, and at the end of the day, they have to settle. Everybody has to go to his own territory. But today, you can see they are all doing
Happy.
fine, and they are working together. But they are working together from distance, respecting each other boundaries.
yes.
Go and read the story of what I'm telling you, the Nordic states. They share the same language. They speak almost the same Nordic language. But ordinarily, they should have been one state. But they have to divide because the Norwegians were stronger than the Denmarks and of course the Swedish. The Swedish are just like the Igbos in Nigeria. The Swedish are highly intelligent and highly spiritual. But they were not brutes, like they are not brutes. Look at the Fulanis. The Fulanis are brutes, but they don't. But they are brutes, but they don't go to school. That was how the Norwegians were. The Norwegians don't go to school. Most of the time, they were livestock farmers. They lived in mix amongst the cattle. So they were just ready to just kill. Then, but the Swedish were so civilized. They didn't see any. Why should I take? So these were the terrors, and at the end of the day, so no. Yes, maybe our father is one, but obviously we are not going the same path. Let us just share, and the Biafrans will understand it, and they must make sure they see to the end of it. Thank you.